Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel. Now, today's video is our this or that video of the week. And what this or that is I ask you a question that has to do with yarn, crochet, stitching, or just preferences in our craft. And you give me your comment or your answer to the question. And remember, there are no wrong answers. It's just our opinions concerning yarn and crochet and things like that. All right? And be sure and comment down in the notes underneath this video in that comment section. All right? All right. Are you ready for today's question? So today's question has to do with the changing seasons. It's moving from winter, yay, into spring and then on into summer. And this is the time of year when we aren't crocheting sweaters and heavy blankets so much, but we're making lots of different types of items. Some things are cotton made for, washcloths or soap bags, things like that. But my question is this. When you're crocheting this time of year, what do you like to crochet? Do you like to crochet things for the yard, for the garden? Or do you really rather prefer to crochet things like washcloths or things like that for inside the house? Let me show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about. Here's a few things that I have crocheted for the garden. This is one of those whirly jigs. It's just a great big curl. This is made with scrubby yarn from Hobby Lobby. We added a big fringe tassel on the bottom and lots of beautiful colorful beads. It'll twirl in the wind and look beautiful. Another thing we made is this big circle mandala for outside with a great big beautiful flower on it that we can hang up in the garden to make it look pretty. This will also look really nice on a patio or porch. Same with this. This is just regular acrylic medium weight number 4 yarn. Now this is a windsock. I made a mini windsock, lots of beads added, and it's a very colorful, just chunky yarn that I had on hand. Now, you can find these patterns. I'll put the links to these down underneath this video if you want to make some of these. This is just an example of 3 different things that I made. I wanted to show you these because I want you to understand that you can use cotton yarns, you can use scrubby yarns, acrylic, chunky, medium weight number 4. Making things for the garden is a great way to use up your extra yarns without wasting them, because if they're only good for a year, maybe the rain gets to them or they fall apart or something outside, it's okay. You've still made something really pretty for that year. Another thing that I made is this flag behind me that I put out around the 4th of July. Actually, I do it around Flag Day and leave it up through the 4th of July. And it's just a flag. It's not an actual American flag, just a representation that can be patriotic. And that's made with chunky acrylic. I think it's a bulky 6 yarn, so it stitches up really fast. I'll put the link to that down underneath the video as well so that you can find them. Okay, and so what I'm trying to show you is, like I said, it's a great way to use up extra beads that you don't know what to do with. You can mix and match them like I did on here. All these different extra beads. Or use up your extra yarns. Maybe this is leftover scrubby yarn. I put 3 colors together and made a beautiful whirly jig. And I can hang it up and it spin around. This one is going to go on my back porch. The other one's going to go over in the garden. But anyway, I'm sorry, I do have a little bit of a sniffy nose this morning, so please excuse that. But anyway, do you like to make things to put outside in your garden? There are lots of fun things that you can make. You can make those banners and hang those up for the different holidays. You can make markers, like make little flowers, put them on those long skewers and things like that. Lots of fun signs you can make. Yard signs and different things, wreaths for your door, that you can use up leftover yarns and make things for outside. Do you like to do that? Or would you rather just stick to indoor things during this time of year where you can make washcloths and soap bags, towels, things for inside your house, doilies? I do those too. I personally don't have a preference. I like to crochet for things inside, outside, and both. And all kinds of yarns. And it's a plus if I can get rid of some of my extra yarns that I haven't used up. Using up leftover, quarter skeins of yarn or extra. Remember those balls of yarn that I make, that I mix all the stuff together and I make something fun? Do all of those things. Okay. And so that's the question. Or this or that question is this. Do you like to make things that you can hang outside? Do you like to make things just for the inside? And do you like to make both? It's a really simple one today. I thought it would be fun just to see. And also, when you leave your comments, tell me what you like to make. When you do put things outside or inside this time of year, it'll help me in designing some new patterns for us for spring, summer, and even heading into fall. Because this is the time of year I'm starting to do a lot of my designing for fall, believe it or not. I try to do things 3 to 6 months in advance. Gives me time to get them tested and have my testers test my math. And we talked about how I don't like math in last week's video. Alrighty, so please answer the question down in that comment section. And if you have a question that maybe I haven't answered and you would like answered, about a technique or a stitch or something like that, you can put that down in those comments as well. I do my very, very best to read every one of your comments, especially on this type video, because your comments are important to me. I can learn from you, you can learn from me, and we can learn from each other. So be sure and read other people's comments as well. All right? And remember, there's no wrong answers on these questions. It's just our opinions that we like to read and learn from each other. I've learned a lot from you in this last series of the this and that questions. All right? All righty. Well, thanks for being with me today. And don't forget, it's always a good thing to use up yarn from your yarn stash and make something fun and useful. All right, I'll see you next week for another edition of This or That or the Other Thing.